I maintain that political and public work is deeply shaped by unseen trauma. In this video, I want to discuss how a lot of people are affected by trauma and dissociation, which leads them to unhealthily and unconstructively engage or not engage with the world. I also want to point out how healing from trauma and dissociation leads us to being highly political beings just through our everyday actions and choices. So let's dive right into it. What we call the political arena today, I perceive most often as a playground for the ego, the so-called ego, where the things that are being done are more about keeping up an air of importance, about posturing, and about fighting for or against something, instead of the actual relationship work, the actual and honest relationship work that I think would be needed in order to create sustainable change and personal growth for everyone involved. On the other hand, I can see that a lot of people are completely disengaged from the world of politics or from their relationship with the world at large, not because they don't want to see change or because they don't want to be heard with their wants and needs, but because they feel like nothing they could do or say would change anything about what's happening or what's going to happen. And so I could say I can see roughly two groups that are massively impacted by trauma and dissociation in their worldview and the way they perceive the things that are going on. On the one side, we have people who are highly emotionally invested in political work. These people often experience the world as a place in urgent need for change, perceiving everything, or at least some things, as disasters that need to be fixed immediately. They might even feel in a kind of life and death struggle, being the ones who are rising up to the challenge to save the day for everyone involved. The concern, the care, and the emotions of these people is of course real, or are of course real and genuine. The problem here, or the way that trauma actually shows itself, is the lost connection to the sense of self and their internal safety. People like this, lacking the sense of safety, are trying to overcompensate this lack of safety by an external cause and by the perceived necessity of change, and by being the ones who are the ones to bring about the perceived necessary change. So they're kind of like trying to recreate their internal safety by changing the world to what it should be. This is achieved by overcompensating, as I said, the internal sense of powerlessness and by trying to control the environment. On the other hand, we have the people who are disconnected from the political arena and feel that they are not actively partaking in change-making. These people feel powerless to have any impact on the world whatsoever, feeling like they are passive spectators in a world dominated by more powerful figures. Trauma manifests in this group as a sense of powerlessness and isolation, which makes them feel that they have no power over what's happening whatsoever. They might not even consider what they want for themselves or the world, feeling that they have no means to achieve that anyways. These two groups, the people being highly invested in political work and the ones withdrawn from it, share a common thread in their experience, which is dissociation stemming from trauma. Whether it leads them to fight for change or withdraw from it completely, the underlying emotional wounds, which is trauma and dissociation, are actually shaping their actions.